let's look at again what's happening now that we've gotten through impeachment. Today is the day of the State of the Union. Everybody's saying, Donald, get up there and speak. Talk about what's going on in the economy, how great it is. Well, let's look at this great economy. Trickle down economics. All the reports are that all the areas, especially middle class, are doing so much better. Then why is people in the middle class working 2 and 3 jobs to make living life standards that they used to do off of one job, not even 15, 20 years ago? Why have so many people are now left the unemployment ranks, not even being counted? Why there's so much disparity in income between poor and wealthy? Why is the homeless population growing at such a rate that we've never seen in American history? I'll tell you why. It's real simple. The numbers don't bear out, okay? That Trump tax plan padded the rich, took privilege to a whole new height, and the thought was, as it did under Reagan and all these other foolish endeavors about economics, they said if you load it up at the top, it'll trickle down. Dude, ladies, nothing ever trickles down. If it is, it's just droplings, okay? So that's what's happening. But they're reporting it in such a way that they're only looking at those who they can reach. The middle class that have phones, TVs, and the like, they're going to poll those guys. But the other guys who are barely making that AT&T bill, barely keeping that cell phone, house phone on, for those who still have house phones, barely keeping cable on. We done went from the cable to that new adjustable antenna because we can't afford cable just to get our local stations. You know, a lot of us are living at that line, just above poverty. They're not reporting on us. We are not enjoying the American dream. Home ownership, nah. You look at it now, man, you look at like gentrified cities in all metropolitan areas where all these new buildings are coming up in opportunity zones which were designed to redistrict and redevelop blighted areas. Yeah, they come in with the money. It's a tax abatement for the rich. They hide their money in the development. They build these buildings in these areas where poor people live and won't welcome them back. Gentrification. So that whole opportunity zone funding thing is just a ghost story. It's how we're kicking you out of your neighborhoods, people. Okay? That's not trickling down. So now you got folks specifically in Seattle, LA, Vegas, even in DC, who are working poor, working homeless, living in shelters, going to regular jobs every day from a damn shelter. Can you believe that? In Seattle, they got shelters that are just for shower. People catch a bus there, shower and change, and then catch a bus to work. Then they go sleep in a tent at night. That's ridiculous. And I'm talking about folks with good jobs. Not folks that sweep in the street. I'm talking about your local secretaries and the like. Even computer programmers. They can't afford to live in these gentrified environments. So you look at some of them and you look at those young cats and say, how are they living there? It's 4 and 5 white guys to a 2-bedroom apartment. That's how they're making it. That's crazy, man. That's really crazy. But then we look at, so what are we doing now on the Democratic side to change this? Well, we had a whole pool of fools that got together, cowards as I call them, and started screaming at each other and throwing all these messages out to the American public saying, vote for me and I'll set you free. So what happens? We end up at our first Iowa caucus. So everybody got there. We eliminated a few good people. They didn't have the wherewithal to stand up. They didn't have the money. They didn't have the followings. And now we don't have any more minorities other than Andrew Yang in the race for the Democratic ticket, which is cool. I ain't hung up on minority or majority. I'm looking for the best candidate that's going to make my life and my community lives better. Everybody got a spiel on how to do that. If we could put them all embodied into one person, we kick ass. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Okay, so let's look at the Iowa caucus, where they still haven't put out the results because they had some computer glitches. Well, you wouldn't have had those computer glitches if they didn't fuck up and let those Russians get in here in 2016 and mess up our voting and scare us half to death. Now we got to put new systems in place so we can count the votes, recertify and certify and all that. And then guess what? None of it worked. You can't, scared money ain't never won no crap game for us dice shooters. Okay, scared people ain't never won no championships. Okay, thank you, Kansas City Chiefs. They were down, they weren't scared. They grouped together and they kicked ass. That's just how it works. Champions do champions moves. So let's look at those folks from the Democratic ticket that really matter. We got Joe Biden, Pete Buttigieg, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, Mike Bloomberg. One by one, Biden. He's a safe pick. Safe. He's a member of that old boy white society, which means he's electable. He backed up Barack. He talks about being Barack's right-hand man quite a bit. That's to help us feel a little bit more comfortable. That doesn't say he's competent. Because back in the day, he made some stupid-ass votes on some stupid-ass suggestions, right? But he's kind of corrected the ship. So are we going to elect the right candidate or the one that we think that's best suited to kick Donald Trump's ass out? Well, if you're looking for the right candidate, for me, he's probably not it. But if I'm a realist and say who can beat Donald Trump, that means who can hold a Democratic vote and who can swing a few of those foolish-ass Republicans our way and get some of those people off the middle our way, and who the blacks know best, just name recognition, it'd be Joe Biden. He's really the only one that can actually be safe as a candidate to beat Donald Trump. Pete Buttigieg. Mayor Pete. South Bend, Indiana, small Midwestern town. He could talk all that good, educated shit that he wants to. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. Because in Politicking Our Way, we honest, man. We honest. We started from the bottom, now we're here. So we don't got no damn reason for the folly. Ain't no folly here. So let's look at Buttigieg. Very intelligent cat, young, not bad looking. You know what I mean? He carries his own weight in most conversations because he's very well-spoken, very well-informed. But his personal lifestyle, I don't think it's going to ever cross into the other 50% of America, which is the conservative right. Now, we on the Democratic side and the non-conservative base would say, we don't mind having a gay president. That's right, I said it, a gay president. We don't mind having a first gentleman in the White House, but we know that's bullshit. We do mind. As an individual, he's a great person, I'm sure. And who he loves and how he loves is totally his business. But once he steps into public office, it becomes all of our business. I'm not a homophobic. I got gays in my family. I got gay friends, all of that. But guess what? I am not all of America. I'm only a very small slice of it. I am very welcoming to everyone, most of the time, okay? But let's face it, nowhere in the Constitution it said first lady, not first gentleman. I'm sorry, guys. You got half of us that say, hey, we open to Mayor Pete, and he's a great guy. That's great, but half of us can't get him in office. He's not the safe bet. He might be one of the better choices, but he's not the safest bet to beat Donald Trump. You put him up against Trump, he's going to kick Trump's ass in every debate. But at the end of the day, when you go into there and pull that curtain, to pull that lever, just like when it was Barack Obama, you voted white or black, then you voted future or past. It's kind of the same thing with Buttigieg, but the only difference is the African-American vote pushed Barack over the top. Here in the African-American community, we're like most other communities. We kind of split on that whole gay thing. So we're not all together across the whole landscape for a gay president. I'm sorry, Pete Buttigieg, you're not going to make it. You're a competent and great guy, but you got baggage. Let's look at Elizabeth Warren. Oh, man, she's born as white bread. She's just like toast, man, without no butter. Good for you. But won't do shit for your taste buds. It's kind of hard to vote for the nutty professor. You know, she's very smart. She has good points. It's very hard for her to get them across because she don't have a whole lot of personality. She's kind of robotic. And let's face it, America, we ain't that damn smart. Hardly ever have we voted with our brains versus our heart. Are we really ready for a woman president? We ready, but we like charisma. We like style over substance. Let's be honest, we're a bunch of damn fools when we go to the voting booth. If we voted strictly on performance, knowledge, and needs, other people would be still in the race, like the Cory Bookers of the world. Other people, like the young lady from California, be still in the race, but that's not how we vote. We're not that damn smart. We're politicking our way, which means we got to be honest, right? So be mad at me, that's fine. But also look in the mirror at yourself and ask those questions. Elizabeth Warren, a good candidate, she can't be Donald Trump. He gonna Pocahontas her jokes to death. All of her good points are gonna be wiped out by his dumb, idiotic, narcissism actions during debates, and nobody's gonna listen to her because the court jester is gonna be over there making us all laugh. He did it with Hillary. He'll do it with Elizabeth Warren. She and Hillary are on the same platform to me. The only difference was Hillary had a lot of baggage with her husband, Blackwater, and a few other things, but Elizabeth Warren has not helped herself, connecting herself to the American Indians and a few other mistakes and bumps along the way. Donald Trump is a con artist. He's really good at reminding us of those bumps and making enough carnage and jokes out of them that will take the focus off the facts and erase Miss Warren out of the race. Let's look at Mike Bloomberg. My man Mike. I say my man Mike because Mike got a few things going for him. He's a New Yorker, like Donald Trump. He's a real billionaire, unlike Donald Trump. Donald Trump ain't a billionaire. He just sucked y'all all into that bullshit. That's why you ain't seen no taxes. He ain't no multi-billionaire. If he got $1 billion, he's a good damn day for Donald Trump. But Bloomberg, he got his money. He earned it the hard way. He came from the bottom, now he's here. He's been running New York, which is not an easy task. Have you been to New York City? Different folks from everywhere can't agree on shit. But they agreed to vote him in. And he's done some things like take on the gun lobbyists and all this good stuff. I'm not just talking his commercials. I've seen the statistics. And he's done a pretty fairly good job in New York. Can he take on Donald Trump and beat him? Hell yeah, in New York. Not across the country. He would be as safe a vote as Biden, but with the exception that he does not have the name recognition among anyone except for the elite. Because the elite know who Bloomberg is. Because they use him every day. They read his magazines, his reports on their money and the stock market and all the Bloomberg report and all that stuff. Yeah, that's where he made his money, and that's where those conservatives and elites know him. But nobody else does. Which means that we're going to have a problem because we're going to see him as the rich and elite, and we're going to mistakenly disregard him as a valuable candidate. Him going up head to head with Donald Trump, he'd wipe the planet with Donald Trump's carcass. Trump wouldn't be able to do those economic jokes and any other shit he tries because he's cut from the same cloth. They come from the same neighborhood. The only difference is in Donald Trump's past, it's a white hooded sheep. Check his father, Fred. Ku Klux Klan connected, all that other shit. Theory or not, we all know there's some white supremacy running through those veins of Donald Trump. And it's not the white supremacy that we're thinking about. It's not the racist KKK white supremacists that I'm worried about, because those clowns are going to exist, but they'll never rise to a place where they're prominent. It is the white supremacy that comes with white privilege that says, I'm white and I'm superior to you, and I'm also privileged in this democracy. That's the white supremacy we need to be worried about, not those jokers with the damn sheets on and the pointy heads. You better look at those dudes with those black robes on who go, guilty, and here's your sentence. That's the white supremacy we need to be worried about. We need to be worried about the white supremacy of those sitting in seats in government who make rules that are disparately against minorities. That's the white supremacy we need to be worried about. Damn racism. Let's talk about power and privilege. Racism ain't going anywhere, but we can change the root, the cause, and the effect of the powerful and the privileged. And join that class regardless of your background, creed, color, religion. Okay? All right, let's talk about what's next. So how can we straighten all this out? How can we right the ship? Okay, like I said, it's not about racism. They're not protecting their whiteness and their actions. It's about power and a way of life. They are protecting their privilege. They want to remain in power. They don't care about the numbers. The census scares the hell out of them. Not because they're white, because they're powerful. You're going to find some powerful blacks that align with powerful whites, that align with powerful Hispanics. You got him with all these immigration laws, and you're wondering, well, how do you get all these folks on CNN and other talking heads that are Spanish to get behind Donald Trump? They don't give a shit about being Spanish, Mexican, or any of that thing. They care about their own personal power and privilege. Those folks got money. You're not going to find some little leaf blower saying, I'm for Donald Trump. No, you're not. And you're not going to find a guy working in the garage saying he's for Donald Trump, or none of those people. You're not going to go to any soup kitchen and find somebody for Donald Trump. Fuck that. What you're going to do is find elitist people who are protecting their profits and their powers regardless of color lines and saying, I'm with that dude. Because one, he got the evangelistic piece going on, the conservative right, all the way over there. And he also is protecting my tax base, my dollars. I get to take home more than you. Nah. That's really what's going on, man. It's about stages. It's about levels. It's about the privileged and the powerful versus those of us who just trying to get by. There's more of us than them, but they got the power. They set the rules of the game. And the guy with the most money runs the damn game. It's really simple. If you don't like the way things are running, improve your life. And then improve the lives of those around you. So here it is, man. It's white power versus American powers. Okay? So the values of white privilege, or of the privilege, I should say, are real simple. I've made it. I want to keep it. I want to make it grow. And I want it just for me and the people like me. But the American dream says, you're an American. We all have an opportunity to make it, which is true. But those in privilege will put every stumbling block, every obstacle in our way so we don't make it. They don't want to expand their club. They want that club to stay small, okay? They want golf courses, tennis courses. Then they're going to make those sports so expensive to join and learn as youngsters that you won't be able to play. Because they're making decisions on the golf course, in the clubhouse. They're exercising tennis by themselves and with those like them. Okay? Let's understand the struggle, man. It ain't black or white. It's by class. It's the haves versus the have-nots. Okay? This has happened before in classic history. Look at the French Revolution. They cut off the chick's head. You remember Marie Antoinette? Right? Okay. Take it back to the Roman Empire. Nero. He played that motherfucking violin by Rome burned. It wasn't burned down by the rich. It was those poor savages who had enough and let that thing on fire. So what Donald Trump and his cronies have done is they've gone out and convinced all of you Rust Belt clowns, all of you people who were not smart enough to take a look around you and say the coal industry has changed, it evolves into renewable energies. And he's saying you guys lost your jobs. But he's not telling you the truth. And you know this. You didn't lose your jobs to the damn immigrants. Ain't no Chinese and Mexicans and shit pulling coal out of the ground. Ain't nobody pulling coal out of the ground because we don't need that shit like that anymore. It's technology, man. Technology is wiping out industries, not just jobs, but whole industries every day. I'm a technologist. I own a technology company. Trust and believe when I go sit down with the folks that work for me and with me, and we're talking about innovations, we're not asking ourselves, well, who is this going to put out of a job? We're asking ourselves, how will this make our lives better, easier, more convenient, more cost effective? And the direct result of that is some shit's going to be replaced and people are going to lose jobs. That has happened throughout the course of mankind. That shit started with the wheel. You know what I mean? People used to carry goods on their back from one village to the other, from one household to the other and barter. Some guy came up with this round thing that made it easy to put stuff on a cart and travel. So some of them guys carrying shit lost their jobs that didn't want to get on the wheel. That's what's happening in America. Get on the fucking wheel, people. They're making education harder. We're allowing kids to drop out at highest rates ever. And those who don't drop out, we're making it so hard for them that they're committing suicide left and right. And it's not hard to live economically. It's social and mental. All of us are a collective whole, tied together by the fibers of life. Okay? So what happens is when there's a class system between haves and have-nots, the have-nots will always be like the weather. It's the corrective measure to that bullshit. You know, how there's a big, big storm and then a couple of days later or moments later, there's this bright sunshine. There's a rainbow in the middle of that process. Yeah, corrective measures. Nature just does that. It can be fucked up, but nature will correct itself. Just like now, we're in a fucked up climate. Politically, economically, socially. But what's going to happen is there's going to be a corrective measure. Now, the process and the question for you is, where are you going to be in that collective few? Where are you going to be, right? Are you going to be on the sidelines waiting for somebody to make your life better? Or are you going to be a change agent and get your ass off the couch, put the blunt down, because they didn't legalize marijuana in a lot of the states. Y'all think that's a good thing? Oh, we can relax back, smoke our little blunts and be free. Guess what happens every time you smoke marijuana? You disassociate yourself from reality. Any drug does that. And it puts you in a euphoric space where it's personal. That's just for you. That's fine. But the moment that you spend an hour or so in that existence, it's less than 1 hour that you spend out here with the rest of us trying to make this goddamn world better. Go on and please yourself. But when you wake up, you find yourself an hour in time behind and an hour in life that you can't fucking get back. And you find yourself behind the curve. And now you're mad at the world because everybody that passed by your ass. And you're part of that industry that was just dumped by technology. That's normally what happens. So when they start doing things like legalizing alcohol, right? Minorities, low-wage folks, they make alcohol prevalent in our neighborhoods. Go out to some of the big neighborhoods in the D.C. area. Go out to Potomac and see how many damn liquor stores you find. Hardly none. But go to Southeast or any other inner city, minority community, they every other fucking block. Okay? They like liquor just as much as we do. But they normally party with theirs. We party with ours to start with, then it becomes a problem solver or a problem evolver or a problem escaper. It's the same with marijuana. When they learn how to tax alcohol and make money for the privilege, they put it everywhere besides where they live. Marijuana's the same way. They're letting it go everywhere. But ain't no dispensaries in their neighborhoods. They're going to be in our neighborhoods because they want a zoned out, non-participatorial type people. They want to do what they did to us minorities with the civil rights movement. You remember that civil rights movement back in the 60s? Late 50s? You know, folks died like Medgar Evers, Martin Luther King, Fannie Lou Hamer, even Malcolm X. You know, those people gave lives so we can have the privileges that we have today, that we're abusing, misusing, and misidentifying. Let's talk about that last one, misidentifying privilege, because we have very little. The powerful still have all the fucking rules to be written. And we are just the little dumb mice that got to follow behind that shit. So let's talk about it. Real quickly. Civil rights bill was a pacifier. It wasn't a resolution. We were upset, we were mad, we were making moves, we were becoming a part of the American fiber. And the powerful said, we can't stop this train, but what we can do, like a crying baby, stop that baby from crying, stick a pacifier in his mouth and think it's food. And what happens then? They'll stop fucking crying. And when they stop crying and stop asking and stop demanding, we'll put a world around them that makes them feel fucking comfortable, full of lies. And that's what we got. That's why our now disassociation with the struggle of civil rights give us these youngsters who say shit like, man, I ain't get hit by no water hose, bit by no dog, man. That's some old shit. You know, old shit, really? You ain't get hit by water hoses? No, but your ass getting shot by the police, the same ones that hit us with the water hoses. Dogs ain't biting you no more unless you breaking into a building. They gonna let that motherfucker devour you. They don't even want you to bring them out. Let's understand what's really going on, people. We got a civil rights bill, not a civil rights law. That shit is voted on every term. Okay? Let's take the pacifier out of our mouths and ask for the rights that we supposed to have as Americans. The new American value that the Pete Buttigieg's, the Elizabeth Warrens, the Bernie Sanders, who we really didn't talk about because he don't stand a fucking chance, the Bloombergs, and a little bit of Biden, everybody on that good old left, not too extremely left, but the good old left, right? All those values are imparted into the Democratic Party because they are a reflection of us towards the bottom, highest to middle, okay? They're a reflection of our needs, not of the privilege. So let's get together, make this fucking a blue tidal wave in the next election. Let's get out there and fucking vote. But let's vote Democratic. Whether you agree with who the fucking kid is or not, or the woman or the guy or the gay or whoever it is on the ticket. Let's get out there and move them old ass white clowns out of that Senate. Because they hold the power to change the direction of the executive branch. Now that the executive branch has taken over the judiciary branch, they taken over half of, they got the Senate. So the fucking White House is running the country right now. But there's a corrective wave coming after this storm. There's a rainbow call to vote. Looking for the sunshine to come next January. In November, we need to kick that clown out of the White House. Okay? Out of the White House. But we're only going to do this collectively, not individually. So let's look at the new American values, and I'm going to close with this. The new American values are for the people, by the people. That's some shit that was in the Constitution, but it was written by some elitist white guys who didn't know who the people were going to be and for what people. It was all about them. Now it's all about us, the average American citizen. Let's get out there and make for the people, our people. By the people, our people. Let's look at the Constitution and hold those derelicted motherfuckers on top. Responsible. You took an oath. Live by it or die by it. Real simple. Okay? So in closing, stop complaining, people. Stop complaining about your current situation. Do something fuck about it. Stop disassociating yourself from reality and from others around you. We're all a part of a collective whole. Every law is distributed equally amongst all of us. But when you go to court, only the privileged win. So don't disassociate yourself. Don't make things just about you, and your family. It's about all of us. Get on the fucking boat. Let's get in the ship together and let's chart the same types of waters for the future for us and for our children. Stop being so goddamn selfish you're only thinking about you today. What about them little ones? If you ain't got kids, what about your relatives? What about just society as a whole coming behind you? We complain about the kids out there running around with the blunts in their mouth and the pants around their fucking waist, damn near around their knees, but we ain't doing shit to educate them because we so concerned about us gathering up our own wealth, trying to be a part of the privileged few, which we're never going to be a part of until we bring the privileged few down and we rise ourselves up. Okay? So it's real simple. Lower your fucking expectations and raise your goddamn acceptance. Accept the world as it is so you can be encouraged enough to get out there and do something about it and make some changes. Real simple. Stop asking for shit and go get it. Okay? If you don't like the political posture of things today, become a part of the collective whole and vote. Your votes do count. They do. Trust me, they count. Strive to do better. Become a part of the American fiber. Become a landowner, a property owner. Get yourself in position to be a part of the collective whole. Get out there and own some shit. Stop throwing your money after the latest, fastest, greatest idea and just get back to the fucking basics. Get a job. Go to work. Be productive. Be something that our young folks can look forward to and be proud of. The deck is stacked against us, people. They got the courts. They got the laws. They got the banks. They got all that shit. Most land in America is owned by the protected, privileged few. I'm not asking for a French Revolution where we go back into the streets and start, killing off public figures and all that stupid shit. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about killing them at the ballot. I'm talking about register today, not tomorrow, not next year, and all that other stupid shit we keep convincing ourselves we're going to do. The most important thing you need to do today, ladies and gentlemen, is register your ass to vote. The government ain't looking for you. If they were, they already found you. Register to vote and then go effectively vote. I don't care who you vote for, but vote. Stop complaining about shit going on and don't do nothing about it. Become a part of the process. I keep asking you, demanding you, telling you, there's power in the ballot. Malcolm X said, ballot or the bullet. Those are the only ways we're going to kill the injustices in the world. I suggest we use the ballot because they got too many damn bullets. Okay? Last but not least, our time is now, ladies and gentlemen. Now, not tomorrow, right now. If your ass ain't registered to vote, I don't want to hear comment. Tell me why, in good clean English, why you ain't voting. Consciously tell me why your vote doesn't count. And if you had your voting privileges taken away because you're a convicted felon in some states, then make sure those around you vote so they can vote your privilege back in. See, the 13th Amendment didn't just make blacks full citizens in America. It had a clause in there that said, except for when they are convicted felons. When you get a number under your fucking chin in a photo, that's your new name. Some states are now giving us the voting rights back. You pay your debt to society, you should be able to re-enter it. But that's only going to happen if we get out in numbers across the nation and vote. If we can vote for fucking gay marriage, if we can vote for fucking legalized marijuana, why we can't vote for convicted felons who served their time to now be able to vote with us again? Why? They don't want that because they're trying to shrink the voting pool. That's why you come up with all these voter registration laws and all this. See, the privileged already understand the power of the vote. But do you understand? Look here, man. This is Nate Jenkins, and we politicking our way. We'll holler at you next time.